the temptation of Jesus. Of course, he's out there in the wilderness for 40 days. And so there's the 3 temptations from the devil. The third one being going up to the top of the mountain, saying, look at all the kingdoms of the world. I will give you all of this if you will just bow down and worship me. And of course, Jesus says, be gone, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and only him shall you serve. To me, this is pretty wild, considering the state of the current American church. Because the one opportunity that Jesus has to make a commentary about embracing political power over the kingdoms of this world is presented as a temptation of Satan. This is presented as a temptation of Satan.
Okay, this isn't about politics. Modern people hear kingdoms of this world and think governments, Rome, elections, state power. But what the ancients heard was territorial spiritual rulers, divine beings assigned to the nations, thrones backed by real unseen powers. Jesus isn't saying, I don't want to be Caesar. He's saying, I will not rule creation under your cosmic system. And that's a much bigger rejection. Satan isn't offering office either. He's offering a shortcut to dominion. Modern politics assumes power comes from institutions, armies, votes, popular support. In the ancient imagination, power flows from worship, allegiance, idolatry, spiritual authority. Bow to me is align your rule with my order. This isn't a run for office later, Jesus. It's take your throne now without the cross. Jesus refuses not power, but power divorced from obedience and suffering. And Jesus doesn't reject kingship permanently. He rejects illegitimate kingship. The real conflict is cosmic. It's not left versus right, church versus state, sacred versus secular. Ancient framing believed this is loyal sons versus rebellious powers, order versus chaos, Yahweh versus the counterfeit dominion. This isn't a political philosophical statement here. He's launching a hostile takeover of the cosmos in the desert, which is a very significant location, just not by force, not the way that we would do it. And rejecting political power is such a safe misread of the text here. And here's the uncomfortable part. It's reducing the temptation of Christ, he rejected politics, to keep his story abstract, to avoid spiritual accountability, to ignore unseen powers behind the system. It turns a cosmic confrontation into a personal ethic. Ancient readers would say, you don't escape the powers by ignoring them. They all knew they existed. You escape them by transferring allegiance. And that's what Jesus is saying. I'm not going to align with you. So what modern people lose when the cosmic view goes out the window and they don't understand the unseen realm, Satan becomes a metaphor. Temptation becomes internal psychology. Victory becomes self-moral control. So have better self-control and don't get involved in politics, Christians. No. The ancients knew that Satan was a rival ruler, a physical rival ruler. Temptation is a loyalty test. This is a loyalty test to Jesus' own father. Jesus didn't refuse political power because politics are bad. He refused it. Why? Premature authority, illegitimate worship, a throne not granted by his own father. Do you understand? The temptation isn't Christians shouldn't run for office. It's who has the right to rule the world and by what means?